So we're here at Kong Screen Printing and Design in Austin, Texas, and today we're going to talk to the two owners, Ryan Burkhart and Bruce Braden.
We are super excited about today's episode of Shop Tours. Since, as you know, Liz and I come out of a traditional sign background, it's going to be really cool to be able to tour a screen printing shop. We're going to print some tote bags and
Not break any machine.
And hopefully nothing will go wrong at Kong. See what I did there?
That was actually pretty
All right,
good.
Let's go inside, meet the owners, and have a
All right,
blast.
come on in, guys.
Hi, I'm Ryan Burkhart. I'm one of the owners of Kong Screen Printing.
Hi, I'm Bruce Braden, and I'm the other owner of Kong Screen Printing.
You want to go first? You want me to?
You go first.
Okay. Hi, I'm Ryan Burkhart from Kong Screen Printing and Design.
And I'm Bruce Braden, also from Kong Screen Printing and Design. We started Kong in 2011 and have just celebrated our 15th anniversary.
Yeah, when we got into the business, it was just the two of us, and we were working with a small manual press. Over the years, we've grown to an automatic shop that has 3 autos, and we're a full-service shop. We offer not only printing on apparel, we offer embroidery services as well as promotional items to our customers. We came from very different backgrounds. Bruce came from more of the commercial printing background and worked in customer service.
My screen printing background started in university when I got a side job at a screen print shop. And I worked there for a couple years. Realized I really loved screen printing, doing commercial production. And had been out of it for several years working in technology and kind of pursuing another career when I was naive enough to think I could start a screen printing business. And about 6 months in, I met Ryan. We had very different backgrounds than where we came from, but realized our goals and what we wanted to accomplish were very similar. So we teamed up and have formed the basis of what Kong Screen Printing is today.
So yeah, I came at it from a totally different point of view. I studied fine art, have a master's in printmaking, and I taught university for about 10 years and ran a university-affiliated collaborative print shop called Flying Horse Editions. So yeah, Bruce and I met at a screen printing co-op, and really until I'd met him, I had never printed on textiles at all, even though I'd been printing for about 15 years prior to meeting Bruce and working at Kong. I think we had very complementary skills because he really understood customer psychology, and I really understood how to translate a very complex thing, screen printing, into layman's terms and to really facilitate our customers and translate what they were seeing in their heads into this medium so that we could make pretty cool prints for them. So our primary focus is screen printing. That's what our backgrounds are, and that's what we do really well and have the most experience in. But we also offer our customers things like embroidery services, promotional goods, and other things to facilitate marketing, branding, or organization's identity. One project that I'm really proud of is when High Hospitality, who runs Uchi, Uchiko, and Loro, approached us about printing on some Vans shoes. Vans was trying to get their shoes in a different market outside of skateboarding and those kinds of action sports, and they were marketing them to chefs who stand on their feet all day long. So they came into our shop and asked us if we could print on the shoes. And we'd never done that before, but we were young enough and idealistic enough and perhaps naive enough to say, sure, we can figure that out. And we actually did figure it out. But their response was that they had been into 5 different shops in town and everybody had just told them, no, we print t-shirts, we can't do that. And I'm really proud of that because we've been working with them now for about 12 years and continue to produce goods for them that they use to promote their restaurants throughout the United States. Our typical customer, that's a really interesting question. We actually don't have one. We work with a variety of people and businesses, organizations, We'll do small orders that are for family reunions, all the way up to working with large international companies like Topo Chico, Coca-Cola, and everyone in between. I would say the majority of our customers are businesses, organizations here in Austin, but that said, we work with companies across the spectrum and across the country. Most people find us by word of mouth, and we have a very loyal customer base, and we're really grateful for that.
I would say right now, two kind of big segment of our customers are uniforms for workwear, restaurants, companies, things like that that need to provide uniforms for their staff and want it to look good and feel good. Another big segment of our customer base right now is merchandise for businesses that want a really high-end product to be able to sell for their customers. So coffee shops, breweries, restaurants that want really good merchandise that reflects their brand, and they want to be able to sell that to people who love their restaurant or their brewery or their coffee shop as well.
So the majority of our customers find us, and that's an amazing luxury that we have. Word of mouth is by far the most common way that people hear about us. And I think that's because we really go out of our way to make sure that customers have a good experience. Our team doesn't look at it as just being printers per se. We really try to understand the brands that we work with. We try to understand what their goals are, what their audience is, what they're trying to achieve with a promo item, whether that's a t-shirt or a hat. What are they going to do with it, and who do they imagine wearing it? So we take a big picture look at what a customer's goals are, what they're trying to achieve, and really handle that one-on-one. And I think that attention to detail and that personalized service really breeds loyalty in our customers. And if you give someone a good experience, they want to share that experience with other people. So this happens that people will contact us locally. They go and they find a shirt that we printed for Peach Tortilla or Merit Coffee, and they say, I got this amazing shirt, can you print for me too? But it also happens by referrals where people who've had a good experience say, hey, I have a friend who needs something like this, and they send them our way.
I think the hardest part of running a business is also, for me, like one of the funnest parts, and the fact that like there's no singular consistent hard part. Like there's always a new challenge or something new that's harder than the hard thing that you were working on before. We work really hard to get better at things to make the hard parts easier, but there's always something new or different going on with our team or our customers or just out in the world in general that totally changes the dynamics of things in here. And so as soon as you get better at the thing that was hard, there's a new hard thing there that is a challenge, and that is frustrating sometimes, but it also what keeps it interesting. As far as like big challenges go, COVID was certainly one, but I think coming out of COVID was actually a bigger challenge for us as a business. We experienced really rapid growth that we weren't prepared for, and so we made a lot of mistakes along the way, and we learned a lot, and we made a lot of good choices too. So we actually although it was frustrating and it was stressful, we reflected back on things that we could have done differently and better, and have used that to build a much better foundation for where we're at with the business right now.
The thing that makes me most impressed about what we've been able to build here over the last 15 years is that when we started the business, I think most of the information lived in Bruce's head and my head. And we've continually and consciously worked on becoming better communicators, both with our staff and with our customers and with each other. And I think what we do really well is we communicate, because we're in the business of communication. That's what promo items do. So in a lot of ways, I think just refining the ways that we speak to people, the ways that we try to help customers, and getting that sort of micro knowledge that we have from experience out of our heads and empowering our employees, who are really awesome, to be able to make good choices in real time when problems present themselves without micromanaging them has really made our business all the more strong.
As far as our first big break, I don't know that we've ever really had that in my mind. Like, our focus is typically on doing the right things day to day and getting better day to day. And I think what the process has been is, like, after a long time of doing that, you look back and there's no big break, but just a series of regular breaks that make you realize, oh yeah, like, this is a viable thing that can work, and that's where it's always been for me, in the way that I've always looked at it.
Yeah. And I always say that the reward for good work is more work. You know, by taking care of our customers, by taking care of our employees, by taking care of ourselves, we've been able to grow a significant base of customers that we have long-standing relationships with. I think a lot of my mentors were both living and dead. I looked at a lot of art when I was in art school and thought a lot about pictures and communication. I also had some really amazing printing teachers who really took the time to teach me the nuance of printing and how to look at things and solve problems in real time. Having done this for over 20 years, that's what I think printing is. It's solving problems in a specific order as they come up to get that job to happen. And it's putting the same ink on the same thing in the same place at the same rate every time you do it. Not just once, but sometimes thousands of times. But coming out of that art background, I was really proud of the things that I made. And I would say that one challenge I had was taking criticism, you know, or even assuming that my customers know printing or what's possible to the degree that I do, which is not realistic. So it took me a while to understand and to really speak in non-jargon and non-printing terms to our customers to make sure that we were communicating and we were on the same page, so that the results turned out great, and that we knew exactly what the target was before we started working. Because the most frustration that I've ever experienced is when we hit a target that the customer wasn't aiming for, and then you have to have that conversation. What am I most excited about? Well, really, I'm really excited about the way that technology is changing what we do. Screen printing hasn't really changed that much since the Chinese invented it about 800 years before Gutenberg got around to movable type. The chemistry's gotten better, the machines have gotten fancier, and the way that we work has changed, but really that technique is the same. But what's happening now in our industry that's fascinating to me is how new technologies, like laser to screen technologies, which is going to enable us to increase the LPI and DPI of resolution of images that we can print from, you know, right around 55 LPI upwards of 75 LPI, which is approaching low-end offset lithography, which is quite remarkable in screen printing and the way that this technique works. I'm also very interested in hybrid printing. Right now, you know, the conversation since I was in my 20s has been digital or analog, old or new, computer by hand, and I never really understood that oppositional thinking on those things, but I think what we're seeing right now is both. We're seeing people take digital and we're seeing them combine it with the analog and coming up with new things. This is why DTF has become such a major mover in our industry, and I think that's going to continue.
Hey Ryan, I'm super excited about doing behind the scenes tote bags today, and coming from a traditional sign shop background, I don't know all the things to know about silk screening tote bags, so it'd be great if you could walk us through the upfront process.
Absolutely. Well, when you sent over the artwork that we're going to print today, we took a look at it, determined if it was pixel-based or vector-based. In this case, it was vector, which is what our preference is. And we're going to make a stencil that we can print with by translating your art into mock-ups, getting your approval on that, making sure it's exactly what you want. And then using a photographic process to create that stencil in a piece of polyester, not silk, they don't use that anymore, so that we can repeat that and print behind the scenes totes as many as you like.
Excellent. Well, I'm excited about seeing how the process works up front, and I think we're going to go behind the scenes with Bruce and actually do some printing ourselves.
That's exactly
with
what
the
we're
goal
gonna
of
do.
not blowing up your shop.
That's right.
All right.
No blowing up the shop.
All right, Bruce, now that Liz and I have approved our artwork and you are getting ready to print the bags, tell us when it comes from the front of the house to the back of the house, where it goes from here.
Sure. So we start that process in our darkroom. And this is where we take the digital file that you provide to us and start the process of turning it into a physical stencil that we can use for screen printing. So on this machine called a CTS, or computer to screen imager, it's going to print a blockout ink directly onto a light sensitive emulsion. Then we're going to take that screen and expose it to light, where everything that gets hit with light will harden up, and everything that it's blocked out, which we want to use to create your design, will wash out in the washout booth. And that will be the base stencil that we'll use to make your tote bags.
Very cool. Let's do it. There it is.
There she blows.
What's going on, Myth?
Hi, I'm Myth. I've been working at Kong for about 4 years now. I take care of most of the darkroom, cleaning screens, maintaining them, burning stencils, and just getting ink all over. So always a great time.
Very impressive beard.
Thank you.
Just going to throw that out there. All right, let's see what you do next with it. Go ahead.
Right. So next, after the stencil is done, is put it into an exposure unit with a bunch of LED lights. So when the lights activate, it shines onto the stencil itself. Anything that is not blocked out will then harden. So all the rest of the emulsion that was blocked out by ink is water soluble. It will just wash right out over in the booth.
All right, great. Let's do it.
We'll hit set for 35 seconds, and that should be just enough time to get it going. All right.
Okay, so now where do we take it from here?
So now we'll just take it out over to the wash booth, and I'll get all the ink off.
All right, let's go do it.
So since this is now all hardened up, anywhere that the ink was sitting on is now water soluble. So just by introducing simple water with a hose, I tend to use a power washer to make sure that we get screens out much faster. This is a little slower, but it will still do the job. And we'll hit both the shirt side and also in the ink well side, and flip it every now and again to make sure that both sides are completely done and see-through.
Are you ready?
Yes.
It's clean.
I'm good?
It's done. All right, Bruce, so now that we have a very professionally cleaned screen and it's dry, what do we do next?
So now we're going to set it up on press and get it registered so that every tote bag is going to be printed in the same place throughout the whole run. So first, all right. So now our screen is locked into the press. Then the next step is to load in the squeegees and flood bars and the ink, and then we'll be ready to print.
Sounds great.
Success.
And that's our first test print.
Yes.
Everything look right?
Looks amazing.
Perfect.
Do I take it off?
No? You
right.
did. Boom.
Perfect. So what we want to do first now with the real one is check our placement. So we're going to swing this back around and I'm going to visually inspect where it falls on the tote bag to make sure that it's placed where we want it to be. Try one here. I think we're a good distance there. So now then we will set our markers to know that we should place the top of the tote bag on this laser line every single time.
All right.
Cool. Joe, you can easily not mess that up.
Yeah.
I think I can do it.
And then we'll be drying over here at this dryer. So we'll take it, walk it over and run it through the dryer.
Okay.
These inks are heat set inks. So this is basically like a big pizza oven. And as the shirt or tote bag or garment, whatever it is, goes through the conveyor dryer, it heats up and we want the ink to get to around 300 degrees. And that's what cures it and bonds it to the fabric that keeps it wash fast and looking good for a long time.
Awesome.
And once it comes out on the other side, it's ready to go.
All right. How many times have you burnt yourself on this machine?
Never on this
On
machine.
this one? Wow.
Yeah, these
That's-
these machines are pretty safe.
Good.
So you would have to try really hard or be very negligent to do that.
So we'll burn ourselves today, Joe. It's great to know.
And your new tote bag's ready to roll.
Perfect.
Love it.
Now, if you want to load one on,
Sure.
What does the light do?
so that is a flash dryer, which it's got a series of bulbs under there that heat up, get really hot, and then turn off. And what that does is dries the ink. So if we need to dry the ink between colors, or in this case, we want to dry the ink before pulling it off of the press so that it doesn't smudge when we're carrying it over, then that's what that does.
Cool.
All right, so now just stand back because it's going to move, and just push it down and let it naturally fall back up.
All right, great. So for someone that's wanting to buy a machine like this, invest in a machine like this, you know, they're just maybe getting, this looks so big. What does something like this run about?
That's a good question. I'm trying to remember. So we got this press new in 2017, maybe 2016, and I think it was around $60,000.
All right, so in putting the tote bags or t-shirts or anything on, what's a good way to really determine that it's centered, and what should we be doing?
Sure. So to determine placement up and down, we have the laser level that's going to tell us where to put the top of the tote bag every single time. To determine if it's even and straight, we want to feel down the side on the side seams and really just get a feel of, do they feel even? Does the excess on the side of the board feel even all the way up the tote bag? If it's a t-shirt, the side seam of the t-shirt. And that one does. Excellent job.
The straightest one on the board.
Probably.
So then you want to make sure you're standing away and click that, and that's going to
Fancy.
advance the press.
It's wild how hot that gets, like, so fast.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm in it.
it's on and off instantaneously.
You know, unacceptable. Trying to sabotage me. Yeah. That's straight.
Good job, Liz.
Thanks. You want to do one?
Sure.
First rule, no horseplay at press.
Yeah. See? You're breaking rules, Joe. That looks crooked.
Don't tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me.
All right.
So now it's printing.
And we bring this over to the...
Yep. And so now we're going to tell the press that that's the last one, so it'll know to stop once that one gets around
So it doesn't
over there.
print on the board.
Yep.
Liz, you want...
All right. So if you were a normal customer, we'd count them, fold them, document it, and then box them up and have them ready to go for you.
We are definitely not a normal customer. But thank you, Bruce, so much. This was fun. The whole thing with the printing and drying and all of it. So,
Yeah.
and we got a whole stack of really cool tote bags. So thanks so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Let's go look at some other stuff in the shop, see what's going on. All right, Bruce, let's talk about this machine for a few minutes. This is
All right.
a beast.
This
What
is
do we got going on here?
That's why we call it Andre, because it's a giant. So yeah, this is a rock oval press. It can do up to 10 colors in the way that we have it configured, and it's not uncommon for screen print shops to be able to do up to 10 colors or even more. It is a little more uncommon to have it in this form factor, where it's an oval instead of a circular press.
Okay.
And when we were thinking of buying a new press and being able to do more colors, we specifically looked at this type of press because of the way it fit in our shop. When you get into a circle press this big, they can take up a whole lot more space. This way, the form factor that we needed was something that went a little bit further this way.
Right.
The other advantage is its adaptability, and that if we wanted to add more colors, we can just make it longer. It comes in sections, and if we want to upgrade it in the future to be able to do 14 or 18 colors, we can just buy another section and make it longer.
Interesting.
So
very cool.
right now on press, the design that we have set up is a 2-color design. In this station, we're printing a light blue is the first color. And then it's going to flash there to dry the ink. And then once it gets back around over there, we're going to print the second color on top.
Wow.
And then the drying is to make sure that when we print the second color, it doesn't smudge or blur out or deform in any way that we don't want.
Very cool. So if a shop was thinking about getting into this, I know Ryan mentioned earlier it was his midlife crisis purchase. It was either a Ferrari or this. I mean, what is an investment in something like this? It's just massive.
So this press by itself was $200,000.
Wow.
Then there was a lot of power upgrades and other accommodations that we had to make to be able to do that.
Shop, yeah.
That added to that cost. But as far as the capital investment in the press itself was $200K.
Wow.
So I'm guessing that you just have to have a dryer set up between, like right after the color you print. So if you're going to print multiple colors, you'd have multiple flash dryers.
Not always.
Okay.
There's a lot of times where we are able to print colors wet on wet, where we don't have to dry in between.
Okay.
And that really comes down to several factors, that being the colors that we're printing, the way that they are separated and if they touch or don't touch, and even just down to the way we want them to look in the end. Sometimes if we're blending 2 colors together with halftone patterns, we want to print them wet on wet to help the colors transition more smoothly.
Very cool.
So for a machine this size, if you were just doing a huge run of 2-color t-shirts, I mean, what's the output on something like this? How many shirts an hour? I guess that's how you measure it.
Yeah, as far as what it's capable of, probably like running full speed at, you know, with a pretty simple design, you could do probably 4,000 to 5,000 shirts in a day.
Wow.
We're really not that kind of shop that is just focused on volume output. If we had a big run like that, that we were just cranking through, for us that speed would be like 2,000 to 2,500 a day.
Wow, amazing. That's still huge. So.
Well, let's see the other color.
All right, so here we have our second color, dark greening, printing on top of and mostly around the light blue ink that really fills in all the form of the design.
It's nice because that seems to remove a lot of the user error since it's automatically running through, as long as you get that initial placement.
Right, so yeah, once we have everything set up and registered, there's not the issues that you can run into on like long runs if you're printing manually, to where somebody gets tired after printing 100 shirts, or you know, somebody's pressure is a little harder here than it is over here, and so this just makes the process a lot more consistent.
This seems to be kind of a different take on printing, if you will. So tell us what we're looking at here.
Yeah, so part of it is printing, part of it's not really printing at all. This is our heat press station, and here we do heat press of direct-to-film transfers, leather patches, sometimes PVC and vinyl patches onto hats, t-shirts, tote bags, anything that isn't easily screen printable. You know, there's a lot of garment types, fabric types, and shapes that don't really suit themselves to screen printing very well, that do suit themselves better to ways that are applied with heat and adhesive.
Is this where you did the bands?
No, we screen printed the vans.
Oh, you screen printed?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was before we were really a lot of the. That was before a lot of the technology around, you know, digitally printed transfers existed. The DTF, or direct-to-film transfers, are a big thing in our industry right now,
right.
Where it's a digital print with a powdered adhesive applied that can be applied to, you know, pretty much anything. The advantage of those is that it's good for doing low volume things, very high color things at low volume that screen printing just isn't suited for.
Right.
I do think they're overused in a lot of ways. Like, we try to use them in very specific use cases that we think they work really well in. That's on tote bags, on some heavier garment types that match the kind of feel that you get with a transfer, and it works really well on hats, like we have right here.
Oh, wow.
Very cool.
So kind of walk us through how or what happens. What do these machines do?
Sure. I will need to pull some transfers. So these are what's called direct-to-film transfers. It's a digitally printed ink that then has an adhesive backing applied to it, that when heat applied with heat and pressure bonds to the fabric, whether it's a shirt or a tote bag or a hat, and then will release from the film and stay bonded to the fabric.
Very cool. And how, what's the longevity of it compared to like a screen print?
There's a huge variance in the longevity of it. A lot of direct-to-film stuff is kind of the Wild West right now, and you've got people doing it in their garage, and people doing it at an extremely high professional level, and the quality that you can get in those transfers can vary widely. For most of the transfers that we we order in from a company called Supercolor,
Yep.
who is known for making very high quality transfers that will wash very well. They also have very good and accurate color consistency, that if we order the same thing multiple times over a long period of time, we get the same colors back in it. There's no variance between printers or location or time in what they do.
Yeah, they seem to be making a splash in the sign industry too for different applications.
Really?
Super color, yeah. And then of course, always see them at Printing United.
Yeah.
They were at ISA this year too. So that's interesting.
Yeah, like there's a few kind of big players in that industry that are kind of the go-tos, and they happen to be ours. We've got a good relationship with them that we've developed where their focus, like ours, is very much on customer service. And so if something goes wrong, if we are missing something, if we need something in a rush, they work with us like no questions asked, just to like get us out to it, or get it out to us, and to make sure that we can get done what we need to get done. And so we've found them to be a really good partner for that.
I'm noticing a lot more smaller sign shops since DTF are getting into, screen printing because they just have to have a heat press to do it.
Right.
They don't have to have all the silk screening equipment. So it's interesting to see that this small workstation can actually produce so much.
Yeah, it can. Again, like we try to be very intentional about what we recommend putting it on, and something that works with the feel and the form factor of the transfer. Don't think they work really well on lightweight t-shirts. It feels like a plastic transfer,
right.
But it does feel better on a sweatshirt or on a heavyweight t-shirt. The heftiness of the garment matches the feel of the transfer a little bit better. Certainly works really well on tote bags. Works really well on hats. Works really well for like relabeling of inside tags for people that want to custom label their shirts. And those are where we do it a lot and really recommend for our customers to utilize that technology. So, all right, I think we might be within temperature now. I'm going to put the transfer on, secure it with a piece of heat tape.
Oh,
And
that's
that.
got a
cool.
hat.
Yeah, look at that. Nice.
Very cool.
I like it.
If I could give advice to somebody who was starting a shop today, it would be to really understand your finances. It took me a long time to realize how important that was, but when I did, it made every aspect of running a business so much less stressful. If you really understand your finances, it'll make the good times much more profitable, but it'll make the bad times so much less anxious. So much of the anxiety and the stress that you feel during the bad times is because of the unknowns. But if you understand your finances, you know the things that impact your business and the things that you can do to change it. And rather than making decisions from a place of anxiety, you can make them from a place of confidence that will really help you better navigate those tough times.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice. If I could add to that, you have to be resilient. Is something going to go wrong if you're making prints? Absolutely. Every time. Is the knowledge that you have accumulated over the years going to apply to the problem you're having that day? If you're lucky. I've found that solving problems, it's not that you can solve problems the same way, it's that you learn a certain resiliency to solve problems that is the problem that is right in front of you. So, I'm a perfectionist. If something doesn't print well, when I was in the studio printing, it would make me very angry and very frustrated, and sometimes it would make the work go more wrong. So be patient with yourself. Realize that things are going to go wrong. You're going to make mistakes. Some of those mistakes are going to seem like you'll never overcome them, but if you just stay calm and keep working and care about what you're doing, it's going to work out in the end.
Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in today and watching our Behind the Signs shop tour. And Ryan and Bruce, thank you guys for showing us around your awesome shop.
Yeah, it was really great to get to know you guys and hear your story and encourage everyone in the Behind the Signs community today.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, thank you for coming. We've loved having you.
Yeah.
All right.
It was nice showing you around and letting you make some prints.
Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it very much. And we will see everyone on the next episode of Behind the Signs Shop Tours.
See you then.
Bye.